So, Costco filed a lawsuit. Costco is actually suing the Trump administration. Let's find out. Let's break it down.
Costco is suing the Trump administration over tariffs. The company is seeking a full refund of tariffs collected under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act if they are struck down by the Supreme Court. Dozens of companies filed similar lawsuits after the court heard these arguments last month, challenging Trump's authority to impose sweeping tariffs. Costco didn't say exactly how much it's paid in import duties. Federal data shows nearly $90 billion has been paid by American importers as of late September.
Dang. So what's going on? What's going on, peeps? This is Fernando, aka Frodo. Frodo Vines. Welcome to my channel. It's been a while, huh? Well, a couple days. Had a great Thanksgiving weekend, and I had to take a break to digest all the turkey. So now we're back. And this actually this news broke out yesterday about Costco suing the Trump administration. So, like I said, we're going to look into this, why. And as a Trump supporter myself, from the outset, looking into this, and I've never really had in Costco. I've been at Costco. Don't get me wrong. I've been there. They've got great products where you can get stuff by the box and by the pallets, And a lot of my friends actually have a Costco membership. I think you got to pay into that. So the rivals on that, I think Sam's Club, similar, concept. So we're going to look into that, why Costco just filed a lawsuit. And they're actually, begging the unelected judges to block President Trump's tariffs. I don't know if you guys all remember, like back in 2024 when Trump had those tariffs, for all those tariffs per countries. We're importing them. We're going to tariff them because, just like China. Their biggest consumers and customers are in the United States. So, given that, so this is Costco is not, your mom and pops. It's not. They're not a small company. They're big, huge. I think almost $1 trillion company, or if not, they're close to that. Probably 200, maybe half of that. I don't know. I don't know the numbers, but they're big. They're big. So, so this is the same Costco that pays their executives, and this is. I'm going to tell people this because they think that. Costco is just, they're the victim here. This is, like the victim here is essentially the American people. So this is what's going to happen here. So this is the same Costco that pays their executives 8-figure bonuses. That's a lot of money. This is the same company that. They're basically they get their stuff from. They rely on other countries like China to get their stuff, to make their stuff, right? So, so then they want federal bailout because they're pretty much addicted to that cheap Chinese stuff coming from China. So they rather keep importing stuff like tires and salmons and stuff like the household items from China, from Beijing, than pay the American workers a living wages. This is your typical Costco. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the capitalism, but with Trump's "Make America Great Again" or "America First," Trump is looking out for the Americans, right? That's why there's all the tariffs and also the abuse of this other countries that's what they're doing for America. So, and again, I don't know. It's like that's the Democrats, and I see that on YouTube that the liberal progressive, the Democrats, cheering on this. It's like they said, "Oh, this is a major blow for Trump. Trump is going down. Trump is this. Trump is that." So while they scream tariffs or tax on consumers, but yet the Costco's on. I think the last time I looked it up, it was up this year was almost 50%, and then they're bragging about that profits. It's a record profit. So the question is if tariffs were crushing them, why are they giving the $5? I mean, in Walmart you can get a $5 rotisserie chicken too, and then $101 and $1.50 hot dogs. So the truth with that would be they're mad because Trump is forcing them to stop exploiting the slave labor supply chains. You know what I mean? So, and this is what we're going to do here. We're going to look into the what's going to happen, might happen. It's either Trump is, if Costco wins his lawsuit, it will be just, it's like a step back for Trump. I don't think the Trump administration is just going to let this thing. I mean, they know that. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. So, I got to drink some water. So yesterday, December 1st, because right now it's December 2nd, right? So Costco runs to a federal trade court begging judges to strike down Trump's emergency tariff on China, Mexico, Canada, and other countries, right? So over 100 countries actually was listed. These are the exact tariffs that pretty much like the cartels and funds the biggest middle class tax cut in history. This is a tax cut, right? That's what was presented. So, and just like this big company like Costco, they're addicted to what they call the slave labor imports, which they make stuff in China for like a penny and sell it for $1 in the United States, kind of thing. This is a thing. So I mean, this is over like a third of everything Costco sells in America comes from overseas. It doesn't have to be China. It'll be Vietnam, the Philippines. But they get it really cheap. Cheap labor. They get it really cheap and sell it. They get like 1,000% profit. So Trump's tariff says if you want to sell it to America, you're gonna have to pay tariff. You're gonna have to pay, or well, they're already paying tariffs. What I'm saying is we're not getting the goods, the good the good thing. We're not getting the positive thing out of that tariff. I think that was only like, some of them was like 2% or something like that. Like Vietnam or India, or something like that. So now they cry. Remember that the liberals and Democrats, they were crying about that. This is taxes on you. This is taxes on American people. So this is explaining this. So why would they be Costco, like why their stock is almost up 50%? The stock actually went 50% this year, right? It's a record. They were saying they're record profits. So they still sell all this stuff that they do, like rotisserie chicken for $4.99, $5 a month. After tax would be $5 or so. So if tariffs were crushing them, why are they getting rich out of that? They're richer than ever because they're eating a tiny margin hit while refusing to move manufacturing back to, mainland or to the United States, like states like Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, where to like the real American jobs that needs. Some people might argue not all Americans would want to work. That's true. That's true too. But percentage wise, there's just a little bit. It's just tiny or a fraction of it of people in America that are considered lazy. What you call it? They just don't want to work. Why work if they're getting food? If they're getting money somewhere else? Why work? Right? So, so Costco went to actually complain to the to the judges and saying this, strike down this tariffs. So they filed a lawsuit. This is what happened yesterday. This is a big. I don't know if the mainstream media is not picking this up now, right now, because maybe they're just waiting for it. But a lot of anti-Trump media out there, especially the bloggers and YouTubers, actually painting this as a win. The liberal Democrats painting this as a huge blowback. So, but this is actually, it's big swamp kind of move. It's a kind of like we talked about, like swamp in Washington, those swamp creatures, politicians in Washington, and they were talking about, liberals always talking about, like the rich Trump's buddy, and they want to benefit from it. They want to benefit from Trump's policy, etc. But they also have, the globalist swamp, which is they actually benefit from this move if Costco wins this lawsuit. So if Costco and their globalist buddies win, guess who pays the bill, right? Same thing. You, us, in the United States, American citizens, legal immigrants, those who pay taxes. Not illegal. So up to $1 trillion in refund to giant corporations. Money that was supposed to replace the income tax. By the way, Trump talked about that too, that, if everything goes well with this, all this tariff and everything, why would he no income tax? Replace the income tax. Get rid of the income tax. That's a huge thing, right? Some people are paying a lot of money to IRS when it comes to income tax. So, and also to complete the wall in the southern border. So the lawsuit is not about, the rotisserie chicken, the price of rotisserie chicken or salmon. This is part of the deep state using activist judges to sabotage. Got some thing on my. Sabotage Trump's entire economic agenda before he can finish the job, before his term is up. Actually, they're trying to they did that, or tried to do that in 2016. With all this Russian collusion and all that, they throw in everything. Even just a couple of months ago, they were just hammering stuff with this Epstein files, and think that Trump is going to just give in. And then all of a sudden he said, "Go release him. I'll sign it." And I was just like, it's crickets. I don't hear him anymore. I don't see anything about calling out for Epstein files because it's all in there. You know. So, and I don't know how it's going to affect Costco. You know, I don't know how many Trump supporters. I don't know if I live in Illinois, and there's a couple Costco's retailers out here in Illinois. I don't know if the state you're from, but I think they're all over the place, right? So I don't know how many Trump supporters will cancel their Costco memberships over this. Some probably might, some don't, but that's totally up to them, totally up to you. But what I'm saying is, Costco might take a deep dive on their stocks because of this, right? Especially when I haven't heard anything or respond from Trump. Especially when he responds to this, man, he's not going to take this, lightly. He's gonna go after them in means of ordered things, like how he does it. I mean, he just called Tim Walz in Minnesota retarded. So Trump's gonna go after after Costco, and I can guarantee you some people will probably sell the Costco stocks and cancel their Costco membership, right? So let's not pretend that Costco is just a small time or mom and pop shop, right? There are billionaires behind that. And who are these billionaires? They're billionaires that they want to get more money because they're going to see that they're not going to potentially not get more money when it comes to tariff with Trump's agenda when it comes to tariffs. So they're probably saying that's like, hey, we need to do something about this because like my $1 billion and I don't want that to go bye-bye. So so let's see what's going to happen. Again, this the news just broke out yesterday, so Trump might just tweak the tariffs or might not. I don't know. But bottom line is, Costco is suing and filing a lawsuit to get their way. They don't want to pay, or they don't want that tariff that was introduced, a couple months ago. So, but like I said, the Costco's executives already earning 7 figures. I think it was 7 or 8 figures. It's trying to lecture me and you about diversity quotas, right? Like those who can hire and who they shouldn't be hiring. They should be hiring people based on skin color. Now they want a special treatment when it comes to court. And then again, they say that there are like dozens businesses like Costco's file a lawsuit, but I gotta look that up. I don't know how many businesses that did that. But let's see. All right. So the question is, I mean, there are those patriots out there, right? There's patriots that believe in President Trump. They believe in make America great again. So here's the question. Are you with President Trump on this and the American workers? Or are you with the, Costco and all this executive and the making 7-figure income? Or with China, right? Because China's probably exporting a lot of these items and things in Costco. I would say maybe 50 to 65%. I would say more than 50%, right? From your canned goods to socks to, all of that stuff. Because just like me, this is not going to affect. I have not been Costco for a very long time. I know some friends that do, but I don't know how that's going to affect them. So, and we'll see this. We'll see it in a couple of days how it's going to play out. Oh man, it went up to like 20 minutes on my commentary here. But anyway, so and I was trying to like just like keep it within 10 minutes, man. I didn't even know that went up to 20 minutes. But anyway, so this is what's going on. What's going on right now? So that's basically it. So, let me know what you think. Man, I just got back, so bear with me here. So let me know what you think, and I will do a follow-up video maybe tomorrow or in a few days. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. That's what I'm gonna do. So, and we'll see. We'll talk later. Peace out.